job, as well as the rebuild timeline. Link in the description is going to be there for you to click and read and get yourself of the Red Wings and what's taking.
Ooh, Carnera scores 2 goals.
Talking about Jim Blackshaw and whether or not they'll coach the Wings for that, whether or not there was a deal, be a bridge deal, or the trade piece. They talked about Moritz Seider, they talked about the Calder, and then things go down a different direction when they talk about the potential of what Yzerman could prioritize this offseason. This part of the piece is what we're going to go over and read. Take a look at point number 4. What is the biggest priority for Steve Yzerman this offseason? Alan goes out there and says that Yzerman's top priority has to be landing a true number 2 center and a proven second-pair defenseman. With Simone Edmondson joining Seider on the blue line next season, Yzerman will want a veteran on the second pairing to help them continue to develop. He also doesn't want to repeat this season when his team led the NHL in surrendering gauge with scoring chances. His free agent center options are limited. Michigan native Andrew Cobb and Lindsey Trocheck, who plays OHL hockey in Michigan, are possibilities, but the Rangers are going to push hard to keep the Rangers. Yeah, I know, it's weird, but it does say that the Rangers are going to push hard to keep the Rangers. That's a spelling mistake. They're talking about Andrew Cobb. This is what Duff says about the same conversation. There's a lot of scuttlebutt. What's a great word? My goodness, scuttlebutt. In NHL circles, but Yzerman is ready to make major changes this offseason, both through free agency and trades. He has to find the club at number 2 center, either via trade or through free agency, because Piasuta isn't the answer there. 2 names that I've been frequently linked to the Red Wings are forward left wing Philip Forsberg and center Vincent Trocheck. Forsberg could be a tough sell. He figures to gain a lot of suitors in the UFA, and Trocheck has connections to the Detroit area. But he's not the biggest guy, and a lack of signing forward has proven to be an issue for this club. Well, guess what? We've already made ourselves a video talking about Vincent Trocheck and the profile he possesses and what he could bring the Wings. So, this video is going over another guy that is in that conversation too. Let's talk about Philip Forsberg, because he is probably the biggest free agent to be that's got a realistic chance of going to the open market. I know Johnny Gaudreau exists, and there's Patrice Bergeron, and you have a few other guys that are of very high caliber status that are going to be free agents too, but when it comes to the ones that I think a lot of people have sort of opened their minds to the idea of actually becoming a UFA and not sticking around, Forsberg is one of the main guys in that conversation, I feel. Let's go over the profile right here. Philip Forsberg is 27 years old, 6'2", 205 is a right-handed shot, who made $6 million as an AAV on a contract that started in 2016-17. It's been a while since he has gone through contract negotiations, and if you take a look at the point production this season, Forsberg had himself a pretty good year. 82 points in 67 games played. Yeah, he's a good player. 40 goals, 40 assists, 42 goals, which you get what I mean. And we can see that this was a very career year for Philip Forsberg, and he bounced back in a huge way after dealing with some injuries in previous years. He had 60-point campaigns in 2014 and in 2015, and it was really kind of the peak for his career in 2017-18 when he had 64 points in 67 games, but the years after were kind of down there when it comes to point production. So seeing a healthy year, not even a healthy year, but like a relatively healthy year. He was over a point per game by a huge margin. 82 points in 67 games right there. Do the math over 82 games. 82 give me 67. Multiply out by 82. I mean, that's a 100.3 point pace right there. And if you do the math for goals, I mean, everybody's going to disagree with that sentiment right here. But when it comes to if the Wings could be that team, obviously you have to look at the other teams that would get involved here too. Forsberg is a great player, and the amount of production that he can get is going to be valued so highly by other teams. But if you want to think about Detroit being in those conversations, I think that's the furthest you could go, right? They have to be in the conversation, but they cannot be the conversation, because there are going to be so many other teams that have their eyes on Forsberg and want to go after a guy who's scoring a 50-goal pace and a one. 100-point pace on the year. So Eiserman, if you're going to go out there and try to make a pitch for Forsberg, your pitch is going to have to be good and your pitch is going to have to be unique because this guy has been so good this past calendar year that he owes nothing to nobody. There's going to be suitors out there, there are going to be people knocking on his door, and there are going to be contract offers. So either the Red Wings are going to have to overpay, which Eiserman could do, but we know he doesn't really like doing that. The overpayment thing is not something that Eiserman has done frequently. Sure, it happened with Holland, but it hasn't happened with Stevie Y all too much yet. And when it comes to the you're going to have to really sell it to Forsberg, hey, this is why we think he can come here and thrive, because we have this coming on, we've got all these players that are going to be better, and you have this spot for you in the power play and all this stuff. You're going to have to go into intricate detail.
Hey, Jesus!
So they're going to go out there and offer a contract to this guy. So, for Phil Forsberg, I mean, look, the Predators are in a position where they have themselves an entire different can of worms too. Okay, they need to resign the guy, they need to keep him, they need to make sure he's a part of their long-term future. Now, they do have $26 million in cap space. In fact, they have $10 million in cap space this year. They have a lot of cap flexibility, so it would be a pretty easy task, in my opinion, to re-sign Forsberg and have him sticking around. It's just whether or not he wants to do that or he wants to go and explore the free agent market to get a bigger payday. That is going to be the question that presents itself here. So I don't really know if the Predators fan base is all too worried that they're going to lose out on a Forsberg and have this guy who is a 50-goal, 100-point pace player just leave their team in free agency. But if you are a Predators fan, then please let me know in the comments, what is the sentiment amongst the fan base right now? Are you guys all worried? Do you guys all think he's not going to stick around? Do you guys think it's a realistic possibility that he will leave and go to another team because he gets a $10 million payday or whatever? I honestly think it would be pretty difficult to see him get that extremely high payday. Sure, the production is there, the points are there, but I personally am a believer that gameplay should factor into it as well. Like, Phil Forsberg has never really been the most consistent guy when it comes to playing 82 game seasons, right? Because, I mean, take a look at the previous track record. He was an 82-game guy until 2017-18, where you see 67 games, 64 games, 63 games, 39 games. Even this season, he's on pace to play 69 games if he plays all the remaining games he's able to play, which is a very nice number. And I do think that longevity and injury potential does play into the contract negotiations, very slightly, or at least I believe they should. So you can let me know in the comments if that is something you feel is also important as well. If you don't think it's important, then okay, screw it. The guy's going out there getting 82 points in 67 games. Just give him as much money as he wants. That's a fair perspective as well. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if that is your opinion. But if you are a Detroit Red Wings fan, talk to me in the comments. What do you think about Phil Forsberg? Would you want Eiserman to sign him? If the entire perspective of the Wings is they're taking a turn next season, let's say Joshua is gone, let's say Zadina's getting a bigger role, let's say Raymond is in his second year, Seider's in his second year, Edmondson makes the team, and you have a squad that is looking to be better than it was this year. Do you want to add Phil Forsberg? Do you want to shell out the amount of money it would take to get this guy? Do you want to really take that next step over the hump and push yourselves into a playoff wildcard spot? Because it's been kind of a while. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as usual.
So the hike there is on the trail or in Devil's
Welcome back. Alright, speaking of the radio call, talking kind of thing, or like
for Colorado, of course, has won 4 out of 5 the last 2 games. More with them. Nashville fans. I know Nashville fans are concerned. I don't have to give it fun to see the phone and more about it. Florida, I I think this is very similar. With Dell and Student, both got their final they're going to miss the final two games. So again, if we're looking for Florida, like the word one, but as it stands, it's not important in Florida. And so, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Your prime concern right now is Florida getting out of the first round, going on a line against the and it's not really a long run. And again, in the first round, that will go well, over great. Not no playoffs. They weren't and again, it's back to the point where it's worth off the map, 350 goals last night, first from me. In NHL, it was the last one, right? Daniel Ovechkin, now, it's possible more than ever possible it's possible that one guy can 50 goals. But then now, he just puts that. He is the best goal scorer in National Hockey League right now. Ovechkin is fantastic. He has the best game in 9 goals. But Matthews is back in the NHL. Getting himself faithful is always been a thing. How it is so cool. They have voted Crosby. Yeah. As most of the players that are talking Markov of Florida, 1.5% Markov and Markov. I went through goaltenders in one, this game 7 scenario or 1 game, after winning, after less than 1, although Carey Price is still not looking at the moment. And of course, Carey Price has played 3 games so far this year, and the doctors on the team. We don't know what's going on there, but still, players say, hey, it's a game 7 situation, we want Carey back here, as we go back to less than 1 after we all. And yeah, there is a big one, the back to the Crosby, so, this all is the players vote, because the players are on the ice. They are well aware of who's hard to play against. Like Weber said, all the players will be playing against. We'd love to have a hard time. So, again, I'll look at this. You guys don't know your thoughts on the vote. Players have to say. But it's always kind of fun to see what the players think. And I don't know if it would be interesting. Open world is usually associated with just that. But big world doesn't necessarily equal good world. Hi folks, it's Falcon and today on Game Night. That small open world game out there is part 1. Starting off at number 10 is Dying Light. Now, the map of this zombie-based hardcore game isn't really that big, but it's actually kind of a good thing because you don't get a car like in these fans. You won't go everywhere on foot. The city of Moran, where the game takes place, is this playground for pretty much so well designed. You get big games where it's really buzzing with zombies that get them to go with them. And that's actually kind of slimming parts on the old town. Article, and you'll spend a lot of this game standing up together. This is a game where you're on a time limit as well. It's relatively safe for the day, but there's night. It's really dark, not like video games does, but more. Also, during the night, there's more to do with followers. There's a zombie, there's a talk at night. Oh, and second. The match is really slow compared to a lot of massive open world games out there, but forced to get around here on foot, take go back to the shot. 9 is the small Dead Rising 1. It's not totally open world, but it's cool and worth mentioning. It's a huge small, but pretty small for the entire area of the game. There's only 7 main areas, but to make this world. The Dead Rising is always locked. You've got 3 days to complete your investigation. Zombies, fires, deal with the ridiculous cycles and figure out what's really going on. All things considered, 3 days is not a long time. Playing the game, you're going to have to really learn the ins and outs of them all, like learn where the best weapons are, where to find healing items, etc. And plotting your route to avoid zombies is not wasting much time because this part of the game. You're obviously on that time limit, and it's tough to get everything done in one playthrough. Your progress carries over every time you start over, so there's a sense of play through the game all the time. Only you understand the world and make it easier. And number 8 is Bully. It's set in Bulwark Academy, which is now called obviously Bulwark. And this game is pretty unusual for Rockstar games because of the smaller stage. The protagonist is smaller, your objectives are smaller, like raiding the world or and the map is, well, usually smaller. It doesn't really feel small because at most you got a bike, and that's obviously not like driving a car on a map. And all the while you're going to school,
I think that's it for my deadline, actually. Just a few add-ins. Sure, I'll take some credit. Why not?
It's a great game that adds a ton of variety. Many of the cities and towns with specific characters that are certain. And in general, the town feels a little more and number 7 is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which is Vampire RPG. And it actually only takes place in small areas of Los Angeles, San Francisco, downtown, Hollywood, and Chinatown. And each area is really only as big as a city block or two, but they're just jam-packed. This RPG is intense. There's not a lot of downtime between missions, and it's better for it. Map is
there we go. There's the new lines.
Of course,
with Tim taking over the first line with Jaeger and Propisov.
Bloodlines is a little bit on the short side, but rather than a steal kind of like a rip-off.
Sorry, Gabe, but you just...
It doesn't waste your time. It's worth everything. And number 6 is Shadow of Mordor. This open-world rock-steady Batman-like game sees you sneaking around 2 relatively small areas with Mordor on a quest of vengeance against some new family or something. I mean, the main plot...
Noah Hannibal as well will be a big fucking help to this team, hopefully. And he is what, like, he's 32 and he says he's on the aspiring contest, so he's just a fucking rental. He is just a rental.
So thankfully the game isn't actually that long, just given how many wars you end up stabbing, does a good job of helping you.
Turn error, get power play time.
But the systems in place are basically what I tried. The game can love it for that reason. And number 5 is Mock which takes place in Empire Bay. And Empire Bay is a pretty cool city, but it's not very big. This criminal world game map is relatively small compared to the gigantic one.
No, he's not on the power play. Okay, I would put him on the power play then. No, not Tim.
Some of the environments are impressive.
Putting it on the power play, bang. Jaeger is not here, so Griffin is on there, so I'd put it on comments here.
The world of this game, how the game itself, is really all about all
I traded Rossi away, so it's like whatever. I don't think it was really working out for us anyway, so it's not a big deal.
All of this stuff was really to make it look authentic and add so much to the game. I mean, you kind of have to look at the map side of that is not that big. And number 4 is Outer Worlds. This is where Fallout in space. It's not like Fallout in space, they fight the original guys who like the original Fallout and Fallout in Vegas. And what this game does is create a sprawling open map like it's in Vegas, where it's smaller locations that are set up with
Oh, I got that gold gun. A 2 mil cap. Holy shit. Okay. Oh wow, it does one extension too. Shit. That's fuck. Yeah, we have a lot of Brimstone. Probably don't have one in a TV or so say whatever. Fuck.
Because it's only one man, it's full, like, it puts all of that extra effort into, like, put that charm. In my opinion, the Outer Worlds has charm with Fallout 4.
Oh, Tim scores his first goal as a while. Oh my god! And Noah Hannafin scores in the same game.
Especially in the first and third game. Hong Kong and Shenmue 2 is actually technically a small amount of buildings in and 5 people. But what's special about these games is how you build a lot of houses or buildings like stuff. There's also tons of stuff to like the arcade games like art. What's pretty wild about the first and third game is how almost every character has dialogue, depending on what you're at. It's just good. You know, small areas of life.
Oh my fucking god. Holy shit, a goal story from this team.
I mean, we can't really mention the same thing with Brady and Ray does things. The doctor does kind of the requirements of that one. But Camaroso is a kind of activity.
I want Nemo. I just fucking smoked their asses. They just know nobody's fucking business. Yeah, fuck.
There's always seriously, you played this series for a long time. Start playing this back. I mean, if you just describe
This replace him.
the fact that
I wonder how this guy's doing down here actually, AHL wise.
why they do it, the place is just not so beloved.
Oh, fuck. Okay, cool. He's the backup this year.
Basically, Gotham to be a girl will feel like they wander around to the bad guys, like commercial fighters, like play cards. It's a weird series with a lot of melodramatic stuff mixed up with side content as well. At this point, the Gotham series is almost a genre I want to know. And though the city is small, it is every single time story. And at number 1, it's Batman Arkham City. It's hard to imagine.
Oh my god, what? Oh, fuck off. Wow. Wow.
Out there, but it's just packed with stuff. And it's really going to feel that it's just phenomenal fact. Multiple and fundamental
Nice.
Batman gadgets, and you're always finding really cool stuff. This is one of those games whereby the end of it just feel like the world is your filming, so to speak. And of course, the map that Rocksteady made for his entire squad. But what do you think? Leave in the comments, let us know. If you like this video, subscribe to we have a brand new video every day.
Big victory. Oh my god, there we go, there we go, there we go. You guys suck.
Open world games have been the talk of the town for years now. There was a time where every game was trying to open world or add open world elements to it. There are tons and tons of made as open world.
Shit, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
The open world games that were awesome, they're underrated. The ones that didn't blow up with super mainstream. There's
No! What? Stop! Oh wow, there's Brad Lambert. Okay.
Starting off with number 7, Dragon Dog. Now this was a hack and slash action role-playing game. At first glance, it might look generic, 96 swords, caves, dragons, and apples.
Ooh, honey, good bird.
One of the directors is freaking Miyake and Tuna, known for his work on Devil May Cry, Power Stone, and what else Capcom dollars. And shows.
Oh, fuck off. Oh, June 7th? Oh my god, okay, that's fun. That is Ty Smith. Are we coming back here on the second one then? That's cool. Quite okay with that.
One of those fun two-player effects was being able to grab and climb up on the enemies and get the advantage and get the critical capacity. It always looked cool. It was fun to use in games like this. Just the combat flow and animations, characters, and the general vibe really didn't feel special.
Oh, nice.
Thankfully, it did get its use on life.
Oh, fuck. That's not good.
Over at number 6, Sleeping Dogs, another game that makes me happy. One of my favorite games ever. You know, we're still recovering from crashing the rest of Auto Clones. Sleeping Dogs released it, and it felt like a breath of fresh air. It's good silent gameplay and driving and action. It's some good storytelling and fun, but not like overly jam-packed over-the-world games like Auto Clones. Really made yourself stand out, especially with the fact that the combat really emphasized melee over gunplay. Gunplay, sure, you know, but any of that was martial arts action. Punching, gymnastics, grabbing dudes, and throwing into the environment, the interactive stuff.
Do I have the most points for the year? Yep, the president is ours. Let's go. We win the fucking president's trophy. Ah, fuck, really? Wow. Oh, great, cool. Computer office injury, that's great.
Let's talk about Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl. Now, yeah, we'll talk about this for a second. Shadow of Chernobyl has a big match. Okay, yeah, it's divided by loading, but for its time, it's one of the most intriguing radiation wastelands that you explore. You know, it's got that perfect sweet Chernobyl. This was before we started the modern warfare before, and then eventually someone gets the zone here is a playground for survival and exploration. This is the first person our shooter on gameplay was sweet. The landscape of the zone really made it all that much sweeter. Despite being a really open area, still stuff existed. Still not there. Plus, there was a good amount of variety from woods to clearings to different types of weather and buildings. It was just awesome. We still can't wait to see that big soccer game that we're working on. It's required. Fingers crossed to get the work. This series is going to be coming. Now on to number 4, Far Cry 2. Okay, this one isn't one that I personally think I don't really get it. A little far from the fan when it comes to Far Cry. Yes, you know, initially Far Cry 2 was universally loved by fans. There's a surprising amount of fans that still to this day really love it. It's promoted ambitious ideas and it's the 2008 story and character. You were tasked with hunting down and assassinating the jackals, the famous armed forces in Central Africa during the middle of a brutal civil war. The setting was the most unique aspect. Really made this open world feel special. It was a kind of microcosm of vertical climate of the continent of Africa. It was a little bit to everything. The variety of small town villages, the buildings, jungles, savannas, plains, all filled with wildlife, and you had direct agency over all of them. Highest levels of destruction. You know, they took a great atmosphere. A lot of it was really intense and unnerving. So also being a little mysterious, if that makes sense. There were some gameplay elements that some loved and some hated, but you can't deny that the world is pretty awesome. And over at number 3, let's talk about the Sound of Flaw. Sound of Flaw, Sound of Flaw, it's, you know, hard to pronounce for dumb Americans like me, but it was in 2009, and World War II German occupied France. Here's up an open world pattern. Completely black and white. It's up to you to use stealth and espionage and guerrilla tactics to wrestle control from the top. And as you do weaken their control, very good at that, you get color. And like you see it actually manifested in the game. It's cool. It wasn't something, but really it was creative. Just straight up fun like anything else that we really released at the time of the open world game. Despite that, a lot of people never played it. People don't talk about it. For 2009 game, it was a fine amount of just run around and mess around and also find points and spend a lot of time on rooftops. Also, this pandemic speaking, which is fun. Mercenaries, Royal Humans, Star Wars Battlefront, we really miss that. And EA closed this service. You guys know sometimes we like to talk about these kinds of dynamics. Now to number 2,
Fuck off, Winnipeg.
Weird time. Not to mention the fact that these games were like really dark Android simulators. Still, the anti-hero thing wasn't kind of fun. Like it was like a bit of like Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Instead of saving people with Spider-Man, you're like a Resident Evil style random horror creation man. And you're just killing and exploding. This was also a time when activating to make games like this when they were down to experiment. Yeah, I kind of miss those.
Ooh, fuck. Okay. Mayoff time, boys.
You're Alex Mercer who wakes up with a power that gets crushed to that.
Secure contracts.
So much more than that. It is larger than like, you use your powers to use massive businesses, run up the skyscrapers, cut with massive claws.
Yeah, fabric is not going to come back, that's fine. You can blow off. DPH is going to be walking off as well. Get some contracts off. This team.
Feels like kind of like a time capsule, time travel back to like the 2000 Yeah. But over at number 1, Mad Max. Let's talk about this. What a special surprise the game does have to be. At least for us here in games. Released in 2015. It dropped the same week as Metal Gear Solid 5 for Dead Space. So it was basically doomed to be brushed aside. Maybe people thought, yeah, it's a licensed game based on a movie. Probably not that great. Oh, sit right down. Let's talk about this game.
April 24th. When is that? When is that? April 24th. April 24th.
You are a fresh version of Max.
Ooh, that's not far away either. Whew, okay, good. I'm glad that's not far away. I'm just glad we're not playing against someone when to pay it in. 100 points and fucking Caesar were not there. Holy shit. Oh, what? Oh, fuck off. Damn it. Oh, that's lame. He's on a 3-year contract though. Oh wow, 4-year term. Okay, that's cool. Draisaitl, damn. Oh wow, Nick Robinson passed Draisaitl. That's really good.
Well, it was developed by Avalanche Studios, the folks behind Just Cause, so there's that. Now, it wasn't a financial failure by any means, but the team in particular was
Shit, Anaheim. Let's see what they have. Oh, God. Okay.
So we want to remind you that
This is our opponent. Oh, wow. What's up with fucking D? Who's injured? Oh, no. They don't know nobody injured. What the fuck? Oh wow, John Gibson, yeah, he's like, I think this is his last season. Oh no, he has one more year left. Okay, that's good. Couldn't even start. Yeah, we'll get the playoffs through.
These times can happen anytime.
Ooh, DJ Robinson! Let's go!
With high protein and energy from Vector.
Oh, why is DiPietro in that?
Some RPGs get insanely mainstream recognition, and some kind of remain sleeper hits. Hi folks, it's Falcon and today on Game Ranks, the 10 best RPGs that are always ignored. Now we have to start with a quick disclaimer on this one. We had to set up a couple of ground rules for this list. This list isn't in any particular order because these are all really good games, and they're predominantly games from 2010 and up. And finally, we're saving JRPGs for another video in the future. That all said, let's get started off with number 10, Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. Basically, if you combine an Elder Scrolls
Ooh, Tyson!
that's what this game is. And it's a game that it has this really
go!
cool combat system where you accumulate fate points, which allows you to shift into Reckoning mode, which is kind of a bullet time mode, and then there's an advanced setup. There's also a lot of fun class roles in the game, but part of the reason this game never really got is that it was made by a company that was essentially the abandoned project of executives. Retired executive got us one day and said, I want to start a video
Thank you,
game.
Yoshi.
And it just so happened
Yep, game one is a victory.
that sounds
I don't know why that DPS wasn't fucking that, but whatever. He got that win.
and asked them if they all wanted to be part of it. And they're like, yeah, sure. I'm going to pay them pretty well to $75 million to start this company. But they made this game and they filed the company for bankruptcy, and it never really had the kind of support it needed. THQ Nordic actually recently bought the rights to this movie from the master in September. Maybe they will market it in a manner that gives it the attention it kind of deserves, but if not, still, like, play this game. It's one I'm sure you'll enjoy if the description sounded interesting. At number 9 is Alpha Protocol. This is actually a game we've talked about before, because it's kind of a strange one, but a really interesting one. It builds itself as an espionage RPG, and although there are a couple of minor flaws in how this game works, the cover system was a little inconsistent. It didn't feel like anything had particular weight. But this is also a game that comes together as a much better package than any of its singular elements. But particularly, it just has a very interesting story and very good role-playing system in place. The way dialogue works in the game is actually very interesting. You're not given a lot of time to make dialogue choices, and it kind of always has specific consequences in the game. Some choices that you may not even realize had very large consequences.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And in the end, some of its imperfections actually
that's unfortunate.
It's a game that has so much charm and obvious love put into it.
Yep,
it's
into
something
it.
that kind of has.
Let's go.
It's kind of curious to see some of the recent days actually in it. And honestly, if Microsoft had any plans, they'll try to get a sequel or at least a remake of some kind of Alpha Protocol to get made now that they own the business. That would be great. And number 8 is Divinity Original Sin 2, a game that, yes, is actually pretty successful, but although we've talked about it a lot on this channel, are you as likely to be able to bring it up at Thanksgiving as you are
so bad
Dark
that actually
Souls?
happened.
Probably not, but it kind of deserves that, and that's why we're bringing it up on this list. If you talk to a critic about Divinity Original Sin 2, they will rant and rave about how amazing it is. But is it a household name? No, and it should be. And it's because among the types of games it is the sort of isometric Baldur's Gate style, kind of 90s CRPG type game. It's probably the best.
Oh, there we go.
And there were some really good ones in recent memory. It just let you customize so much about it. It gave you so much freedom to sort of build your character, build the sim system. and it had such a great story that I just think it deserves to be one of those games that's much bigger than it is. It's not like a small game that's never before. At number 7,
oh, there it is.
Which we're going to notate is a small exception to the rules, in that it's 2009 when this game came out. Demon's Souls kind of has always lived in the shadow of its more successful successor, Dark Souls. And there's a remake of it sometime in the future.
4 days sleep, that'd be nice. 4 days sleep. Ooh, nice. Let's fucking go.
It's just a little stranger, a little more, not necessarily.
Oh my god, he's finally back. He is back.
But Demon's Souls laid so much of the groundwork for Dark Souls, as well as had its own tool system, like character tendency and world tendency, which would change how difficult it is.
Damn it, he's wasting that guy. I'm just missing him. Check, ooh, he's injured still.
I mean, it was just a really good thing. I cannot wait for the remake for it. At number 60 is Grim Dawn, kind of a Diablo-like game.
On the stores right after.
Fantasy world, and it got a lot of praise as being kind of a quote-unquote spiritual successor to Diablo 2. But something that I think is unique to it is that one of the points of the game is really
hold on, fuck you.
Kind of going around Diablo-ing your way through a bad post-apocalyptic
Come on, boys.
with the purpose of putting back together a world that is on the brink of humanity's extinction. You rebuild structures, you rescue people, and secure resources. Stuff that isn't really normally thought about in these types of post-apocalyptic games.
Come on, boys, fucking
But, like,
score.
you do all this stuff as, like, a badass who's just plowing away through Diablo.
There we go.
But it's just a great game. Number 5 is Outward, an open-world RPG, where it also brought in a lot of survival elements. And this is a game that just had a really interesting look to it. It's not like particularly
Fuck off.
but was really willing to go.
Somebody score, please.
Color schemes and character style. It has this really interesting development.
Oh, fuck off. Wow. That's really fucking annoying. Okay.
Online or as couch co-op. Honestly, I would just call it kind of like a different experience for an RPG because it takes so many things.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that.
In some ways, it's even harder to describe. It sounds like describing an RPG.
Oh, let's go on and read the stores right away.
It does all of the things it does very well. It's still worth the $40 on Steam. I would go for it. And number 4 is Kingdom Come Deliverance, which was a game that, I mean, it really tried to do a lot as far as kind of being Witcher without the mysticism. Set itself during the times of the Roman Empire and tried to be as historically accurate as is possible for a game. So you have to keep in mind that, I mean, it still has to be fun on some level, so some things aren't completely historically accurate. But the combat was really good in it. The story was really in-depth and really tried to use its historical setting to the full extent. But it also threw a lot at you, and it was at times pretty difficult. And I think that that made it harder for it to get the mainstream recognition it really deserves. But this game was obviously a lot of work, and so much went into it.
That's it.
Final product
That's it.
is one of those
Nothing.
games
Keep
where
it that
you're just
way.
like, I'm frustrated, but I can't put it down. At number 3 is Battle Chasers Night.
Don't let me tie it.
A game you probably never heard of. It got very
Booyah.
attention.
Round 1 complete.
Let's just say what's in it. It is an absolutely beautiful, incredibly unique, dungeon crawling, turn-based, kind of JRPG-ish, kind of CRPG-ish, just overall really different game that at the same time
Oh,
seems
shit.
incredibly familiar and
Okay,
everything.
this is gonna be
I wouldn't
great.
call it
Awesome.
directly a JRPG, but it's obviously very inspired by it. But it's also very inspired by PvP. And
Let's shut this down a squad.
Affects art style, you probably think it's
Oh, look at me, Yachel.
but it's
Fuck.
colorful, beautiful. It's just like it's so enjoyable.
Save is still 87? Yeah, right.
And you think, oh,
Wow, why is my hand so fucking high? Oh, wow, okay.
It's all of that. And
Oh,
Battle
fuck.
Chasers Night was a fantastic.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
At number 2 is Greed Fall, which was this very strange colonial
Oh.
It was set in a fantasy world, and you go to this island.
Oh my god. This seems to be harder to beat. Yay.
And it sounds pretty straightforward, but again, this is also a game steeped in mysticism. Honestly, this is a beautiful game that does such an interesting job of putting something that honestly kind of content. Colonization is actually pretty violent and awful, and it makes you make decisions about it. And I will tell you, it does such a great job.
Fuck.
This is one of those games that you have to play it to understand just how enjoyable it is, because it's not something that you look at and go, oh, but that's super fun. It actually looks pretty involved when you glance at it. And it is, but it's also a lot of fun.
Come on.
And what it makes the player actually confront within themselves, honestly, I kind of wish more people had it. And maybe that's just me saying something should be more positive, because it makes you actually do your thing and make decisions for yourself that a lot of things just don't. And it's a fantastic game. You should play it if you haven't. I love Greedfall. And finally, number 1 is Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, which is a hack and slash that comes to us from Capcom. And although the graphics are kinda dated, it might turn a few people off. However, the game itself is really why you're playing it, not the graphics. It's an open world action.
Oh my god, that is Jesus.
So well.
We still didn't fucking win though. We still didn't fucking win somehow. We still didn't fucking win. Holy fuck.
It has so much detail.
Woo. That was scary right there. Ruben scary.
It takes a little while for the story to get going also, but I think they do a good job making you sort of get into the gameplay mechanics before the story speeds up, because you do need to understand this game. And I think that that's kind of a basic choice that makes it a little less accessible to a mainstream audience.
Yes!
But once the game gets going, it's something that's of a quality that deserves more attention.
If we just store, just shut down your fucking boards, we'll be good.
Even though it was technically a pretty big success. Could it have been a bigger success? Probably. I mean, it was the most successful launch in BioWare history, but it's also a game that's just kind of disappeared. A lot of RPGs of its caliber we're still talking about years later, but it also came out around the time a lot of other big titles came out, and I think that kind of has clouded our memory of it.
Come on, boys, just keep them on the scoreboard. Keep them on the scoreboard. No, you need to score that, really?
Good. Looking back on it, I really love that game. Next one is Child of Light, which was actually kind of a JRPG-derived idea. It was a really cool game in that it was a side-scroller that, at first glance, would seem to be like a platformer of some kind. It is not. In a way, it's kind of an in-depth JRPG type game with an active-time battle system that resembles Grandia a bit. Like anytime
do not let them score anymore. Come on, boys.
That was awesome. And To the Moon, which is kind of a JRPG as well, although
thank God.
A lot of battle stuff. More of the adventure game. These are the more JRPG framework. Typical adventure game. It's about trying to control the dream of an element that 2 doctors and I mean, you can play it. It's not like Recall. And that's all for now. Do you ever think about how these games all deserve maybe a bit more credit than they got?
Oh my god, nice. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Make it sweet. Make it sweet. That'd be great.
Brand new videos every day of the week.
Time spent. Let's go, buddy.
So subscribe. Don't forget to enable all notifications. And as always, thank you very much for watching.
We'll make any hot drink on our menu into a satisfying cold one. Because when you add to your drink,
nice!
Hey, are you looking for a a single-player game that will take you a decent amount of time to complete? Well, we got you covered with this list.
Let's go, buddy.
Single-player
Make it a
game.
$2 game. Oh, make it a $3 game.
And it's also worth pointing out that some of these games aren't just like the regular games you've heard about all year. We wanted to also use this list as an opportunity to talk about some games we haven't mentioned enough. So keep in mind to set expectations. A lot of these games aren't like Skyrim level endless open world, but here you have personal experience, online videos, and HowLongTV.com for references, and you should satisfy. Anyway, let's get started on with number 10. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 is a game you may not have heard of or really had on your radar, but depends on what type of player you are, if you're mainlining everything, or if you're really exploring and not skipping content and checking out side quests. And interestingly enough, Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 takes what the previous Sherlock Holmes games did and really kind of turns it on its head and adds an open world, which doesn't seem like it makes sense for a Sherlock Holmes game, but here you do have the opportunity to really explore, find clues, get engaged with this world, and find some pretty engaging side quests. It's one of those games where it has side quests that you're actually going to want to check out. This is a younger Sherlock Holmes. They're going for like a different vibe here. In his early years, exploring a Mediterranean island and city of
Do not let me score on that. Oh, thank God.
The combat's a little weird, but still these Sherlock Holmes games are massively underrated and pretty cool, and if you're looking for an interesting new one to jump in with, it's this one, Chapter 1. Now, next over at number 9, let's talk Far Cry 6. This one is a little bit more of one of the obvious ones on the list because it's a Far Cry game. It's a massive open world, riddled with side quests, things to collect.
Somebody score. Somebody fucking try it. Oh, fuck off. Okay.
When you're in a Far Cry game, you're going to spend a lot of time. The average time to use for this game is around 35 hours, but you can easily squeeze a lot more out of that just because Yara is a pretty interesting tropical location with a big city, tons of different little areas. Granted, it's all across.
Oh no, that's not fucking good. Oh no.
Personally, we said it in our before you buy video. I found Far Cry 6 to be a lot more fun than Far Cry 5 or Far Cry New Dawn, which a lot of people forgot about. This one is possibly worth checking out, especially if you've done now on the Far Cry formula for a while. This one might be fun enough to get you back into the game. So number 8, we have Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, a game on console, but I think is best played on PC. The average time to do this thing is around 120 hours if you're doing the main quest and most of the side quests, which you'll probably do, and you'll probably want to do a lot of it because the game can get pretty challenging, and that's where some of the length lies. Where the true length really comes from is the fact that it's just one of those big-ass isometric RPGs. If it's in the original Sin 10 you play that, you know what you're getting into. You're getting a massive world, tons of interesting dialogue, fun side quests to pursue, different ways to build your character, stuff to find. There's just a lot of cool stuff in this game, and the gameplay aside, just design-wise and looks-wise and voice-wise. If you like big old fantasy RPGs, you like them a little bit more independent, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous is definitely worth checking out.
You guys!
The fact that it'll keep you busy for quite a while. Probably the most out of any of the games on this list.
Here, next over at number 7, we have Shin Megami Tensei 5. A game which admittedly we haven't highlighted enough on Game Race throughout 2021. But the average time to beat this one is around 63 hours. Shin Megami Tensei 5 really is great for being on.
Oh my God, where the fuck's all this office coming from now?
Better, and a lot of that might just come from that good old fashioned JRPG gameplay, which for some people is truly comfortable with. Obviously very different Tokyo they have here is a really good setting for exploration. These games have a very unique spin on them, especially if you played the Persona games, but you've never played the Shin Megami Tensei games. You're probably going to find a lot to like here. This is a good jumping in point. And the way you explore, you bounce between these different biomes, and you slowly build out these specialized teams, and collect things, of course, you're going to find yourself sinking a lot of time into this one on your Nintendo Switch. It was a good year for JRPGs, and Shin Megami Tensei was definitely one of the ones worth highlighting. But over at number 6, we also have Tales of Arise, another JRPG worth highlighting, where the average time is around 58 hours, and that's just because this is a demo game. In a lot of ways, when you look at the version, JRPG with small little areas, loads of town, so interesting. It's tons and tons of lore and stuff that is possible to really learn about this world. Now, Tales of Arise is its own story, so
the outside of the mystery about being the fun. What you're going to get is some pretty traditional JRPG kind of active style combat, but with really good team comboing stuff, all with a really interesting and over-the-top style and cool characters that you're building up along the way. If it sounds very straightforward, you know, from presentation to gameplay and what you're seeing on screen, yes, it is, but it's still so incredibly compelling, and it's one of our favorite games of the year. Now, next over at number 5, let's talk about the Monster Hunter series, because it had 2 big releases this year, and they'll take up a lot of your time. The first is Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. The average time to beat this is around 53 hours, and if you've played the previous Monster Hunter Stories games, you understand what you're getting into. They are dense, and really, Monster Hunter games are in general, because also this year we had Monster Hunter Rise, which the average time to beat is 44 hours, but with Monster Hunter games, you can just spend so much time building and grinding out your characters, and that's where the fun really lies. It may not be the longest or most content-rich of the Monster Hunter games, sure, but still the hours spent every single one of those hours is and fun. You're always growing, and you're always learning, and you're always figuring out
there we go.
or you're always gaining some new piece to craft a new piece of armor, and it's just good. It's just good all the way. And if you haven't played a Monster Hunter game, Rise is a good place.
Holy shit! Oh great, we're playing Edmonton next, that's fun. Oh great, this is gonna be awesome! Edmonton fucking Oilers!
So good luck, have fun. Now, next over at number 4, we have Neo, The World Ends With You. At this time, things are fully 3D with Portuguese. There's a lot more to do. The average time to beat The World Ends With You is 48 hours. Now, you're battling your way through this adventure until at the end.
Oh Christ!
You're also exploring kind of modern day representation of Shibuya in Tokyo, Japan. There are plenty of things to check out, characters to interact with, restaurants, the shops, of course. There's like a game, social network. There's a lot to check out. And really, it's such a great follow-up to The World Ends With You. This is like one of those games and yes, and leave people away. So to have an actual good follow-up that captures that feeling again, that blows it out in the water, is something totally worth checking out. Now down to number 3, we have Lost Judgment. The average time to beat this game is around 50 hours, and if you play the original Judgment, you know that it's best. These are, of course, spin-off Yakuza games, which are also extremely dense. And what you get here is a fun world, people to beat up, and lots of mysteries to solve. These games, of course, keep walking in frame
Freaky fucking injuries though, that's the problem.
Japanese soap opera, melodrama, and just completely you can really get anything you want out of these style of games.
Oh fuck, right away we scored, let's go! Oh fuck you, David. Okay.
Quite a bit of time, a whole interactive high school to explore with its own sub-quest system to check out. And just an interesting and compelling and more personal story this time around, not to mention an fighting style. There's a lot here, there's a cool world to explore, and a lot of dudes to kick in the face. Lost Judgment is absolutely awesome, and if you've never played any of these games from this studio, Lost Judgment is still a really good place to jump in. Now over at number 2, we have Returnal, a game that just as much as people really like it, it hasn't gotten enough mainstream love in 2021. And maybe that's for its unique structure, its unique style, its whole run-based gameplay, maybe it's the challenge. So for Returnal, the average time to beat is around 30 hours, but this is really going to depend on, I don't know, how good you are, how long it takes you to really grasp the game's elements, if you like to take it slow. Returnal is pretty challenging. The bosses can be pretty intense. The dying reset thing might not be for everybody, but yet, it's pretty
That's great.
But also, you're trying to unravel this cool space sci-fi mystery along the way. So while it's not like an 8-hour Horizon Zero Dawn or a Billionaire Skyrim or anything like that, you see limited time and all of it is pretty satisfying. Now, over at number 1, another weird one to mention is Loop. Now, the average time is around 35 hours, and it's a 15-week game. You're in this world that's in a never-ending time loop, and essentially it's kind of
an old school style, but card-based system where you go around cards, build out dungeons and areas for a little hero to get through, and it can have incredibly addictive quality.
Yeah, I'm in Jesse lines right now. This is like, that was an embarrassment right there. Okay, let's see here.
A bit more compelling here, as well as NBA therapy passive experience. It's also it's got a cool different speed. We also just haven't mentioned earlier this year, so consider checking that out. And we also got some bonus games worth mentioning, of course. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remakes. Those, of course, you can sink plenty of time into. It's a Pokemon game, have them all, right? One that is another fun one where like the style might deceive you, but what it is a really fun RPG with included a unique spin on the character building. And Inscription, another game that we just haven't given any love to this year, and one of the highlights here is definitely worth checking out. And The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD Remaster Remix is also 2021. A lot of people forgot about it, but it is a ton of time to do it for a Zelda game. So these are some lengthy single-player games from 2021 that you can still consider checking out. There are, of course, so many others out there, so if you want to hear yours down in the comments. What game you spent a lot? Where did your alma mater come from?
On the beach does too. That we're only teaching our food down in Orchard in California. My parents got the sold after them. They used my job to test the economy.
The best almonds from the best almonds ever. Blue Diamond almonds.
Some enemies in games are absolutely impossible, difficult, and just a massive hurdle to get over. And some of them are just tricks. And when I talk about characters who rude or have a bad attitude, like Ambassador and Mass Effect, we're talking about enemies you just want to go away. They don't have much health, they aren't necessarily the most aggressive, or even the most dangerous. They're just tricks, and we hate fighting. I'm Focus Falcon, and today on Game Rank, the 10 biggest tricks in video games. Starting off at number 10 is Badger the Assassin Dark Souls 2. Jesse is the perfect example of what we're talking about here. This guy is a real piece of work. With the DLCs for Dark Souls 2, From Software decided to continue to address them. Normally, these encounters pop up every so often, but they don't normally do much other than appear and try to kill you. This guy's different. You actually encounter him twice. First in Broom Tower, and he's definitely a trick there, but he takes you to the next level in the Crown of the Iron King area. The first time you see him, he actually waves at you and just waves around. If you haven't had to deal with him before, you might think that he's friendly or something, but no, the second you turn around or look away, he'll just stab you in the back and laugh. The weird thing about this dude is that he's the only phantom in the game where you don't get a message saying that you've been invaded when he appears. It actually turns these guys into friends, so it's understandable that someone would attack him on sight. And even if you do attack him, or if you see him, he still won't fight you normally. Instead, he runs away and hides by a demon and heals himself, just to come back and be even more pain. He doesn't just trick you and stab you in the back, he uses the environment against you, even if you do try to fight him. Like, he's neither too easy or too hard to beat on his own. He's just a gigantic trick. At number 9 is the Carcass from Doom Eternal. Sure, there are bigger and badder enemies in Doom Eternal, like the Tyrant, the Archvile, the Water, but no other enemy in this game is a bigger trick than this one. They basically exist just to annoy you. Their main function is to generate shields, but unlike other games with support bad guys, they're not using the shields to defend their allies, they're just generating them right in space to be annoying. So you're trying to get around and deal with hordes of hell, and this jerk just keeps the walls in front of you. It's annoying at best. But if you use a rocket launcher, then one of these shields in your back can lead to a ton of splash damage. Everything else these guys do is not effective at all. And I don't take that many hits then to kill. But throw one or two in with a whole gang of other enemies, suddenly they are a lot harder to kill them. Sure, if you're a new master, these guys probably aren't much to write home about, but there's no denying how annoying they can be with the right backup, and that's pretty much all they exist to do. Just be really, really annoying. And number 8 is the Boost Guardian from Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. For some
Oh, what the fuck was that?
It's the hardest thing in Metroid Prime 2, and all that comes down to is how much of a trick he is. Normally, here's the thing. You have to fight this guy in the Dark World, and before you got it, that means you take a
constant damage the entire fight. So it's basically a damage race to try to kill this thing before your health completely drains, and this guy's just waiting upon that. It's possible to
Oh,
stop
thank God, laughing to appetize it.
it's so small, it's really hard to
Come
break.
on.
And if it hits you, it's not weak, it does some pretty nasty damage, especially in the original version of the game. This guy would be pretty challenging normally without losing health, like just regular fighting it, but that added handicap takes this guy from being a tough but very challenge to a total threat.
And number 7 is Undead Giant Chains version, specifically in Bloodborne, which is a game that's filled with tough bosses. And we talked about a lot of them here, but one that hasn't brought up much is the humble Undead Giant. Now, you only get years in the Chalice Dungeon, which are optional, sometimes randomly generated areas, or standard versions of the guys and the bosses provided are the Chalice Dungeon. And they're not incredibly tough, but this variant is here's the first thing you bought. That's pretty much you look like you guys, and that's something up pretty special about the first thing. This boss is so but it's pretty ridiculous.
Tonight on the ice, can this change the series? It can. They trail by winning this game in overtime. Series will continue on, and we will talk to you then. Good night, everybody.
The game's notoriously hard for a lot of reasons, and this dude's a real roadblock for a lot of people. He's kind of the worst of both worlds. There's huge conflict, but this one actually does have like power to back it up. Right when you fight him, he basically calls you, and when the battle starts, he has this infuriating trick of casting himself back out of agility and evasion, which makes it really difficult to hit. He also casts on himself to increase his attack power, and which does lower his physical defense, but with maxed out evasion, will not improve your attacks anyway. Also, if you weaken him, he has a spell to protect him. So I actually feel, I don't know. I think we can go any further.
No! Oh my God, I didn't mean to fucking do that!
It's one of the biggest video game assholes of all time. At number 5 is the controller from Stalker, followed Pripyat. Let's switch back to a more humble enemy. These guys are pretty dangerous in other Stalker games.
But forget that, they got a huge bump in Call of Pripyat. Oh, and they're also a lot more likely to show up in this game, too. Probably the most infamous thing about these dudes is they literally hijack your screen when they attack you. They pull the camera toward themselves and leave you disoriented and freaked out. And that's actually the least dangerous thing about them. They got a lot of health, they shoot at you with psychic bolts that can, at least in the original game, kill you instantly. The best strategy to take them down was just get close to them, and they basically panic. But in Call of Pripyat, they got an incredibly damaging close-range attack as well, so there's basically no easy way to take them down. You just gotta find some decent cover and hope for the best. It's that camera trick these guys pull that really puts them in the prick column. It's bad enough they make your screen all blurry and do psychic damage, but they also have an instant jump scare attack that really make you hate having to fight them. They're thankfully pretty rare, but they're always a tense encounter.
Why by leader? Because when there's a heat wave, it's still cool down like people. The fight leader from is fast. It's reusable every room.
And number 4 is Old King Alan from Demon Souls. This guy is by himself one of the more difficult bosses, but if you know anything about him, you probably know what makes him such a big trick.
He's got this one incredibly devastating move. It doesn't damage your health, it literally damages your soul. If he does this attack where it looks like he starts to spell, then grabs you, takes the soul level from you, like permanently. All those souls you got are gone, and then stacking the soul on is lower. For a game filled with this move, like it's the worst, it is the biggest difference. If you do manage to kill him, you can get your souls back, but still then you work kind of lot. And this is incredibly nasty, even as a fact that it's still not the worst thing ever. Most people probably aren't going to be hit by the attack of the one, but it's still like a neat thing to do to the player. Just for this one attack alone, it's probably one of the biggest tricks in games in the last day. And number 3 is Voldorm from Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Let's go into a classic one. Voldorm is the boss in the third dungeon, the past, the Super Nintendo one. This guy doesn't even have the attack. All he can do is one thing, and he does it well. He bounces around the arena, and if you run into him, he puts legend of the game is very small. Getting off this place forces you to easy walk back to once and try again. And that's what makes him such a threat. He didn't waste your time. It would be so much easier if getting knocked down was just like spawning back to your arena with a little damage, but no, of course not. Instead, you gotta walk all the way back for the opportunity to get knocked off again. On his own, he's probably the least intimidating boss. I don't know. He basically can't hurt you, but his ability to knock you around makes it one of the biggest tricks in this game. It is painful to fight this guy. And number 2 is Malboro from Final Fantasy. This one you see probably called for the game. Instead, its effective RPG Final Fantasy. They're annoying no matter what. In some games, they do fairly matter, while in others, they focus on the side of battle. And the Final Fantasy series has games to go in both directions. Sure, Poison isn't really that bad in most Final Fantasy games, but what about the Fuse, Sleep Science, Stone Code, whatever else you think of? That's what makes Malboro such a master. It's that breath attack, which gives you pretty much every status effect in the game. A lot of the time, this could pretty much be game over. You'll be trapped in a Walking Dead state where you can't control your party, and they just slowly die to rest in Malboro's last dangerous path. Most people, that's when you just restart. In a lot of cases, an instant death spell that kills everyone would be better than Malboro's bad breath, because at least ends the fight innocently instead of just taking away control and forcing you to watch and wait for everybody to die. This one has disappeared from the series since Final Fantasy 2. Been in almost every online game, including the Final Fantasy 7 remake. It's a pain to fight in that game too, just like it's a pain to fight in every other game. Just for longevity, this guy deserves a mention, and it wouldn't feel right to play a Final Fantasy game without one of these guys around. He still hates himself. And finally, number 1 is Mr. Shakedown from Gothic Hero. When it comes to quick enemies, they strong get much more easy. And yeah, it's actually more than one guy for whatever reason. He's been groups, and you see just wandering around the city and you're unlucky enough to get in a fight with them, and you'll be in for a challenge. If you lose, then we'll be back in one to happen. The guy robs the fortune of his past. Normally, in this series, that really don't bad, but in Gothic Hero, one of these faced with the same thing as the series. Spend yen to upgrade your skills. In this game, it's multiplied stuff, so stealing money can be a serious problem. He is such a huge prick of that. These guys strut around town, they bring it on the place, and you just want to beat them up. They can be brutally hard at times. And even if you do manage to pick them up, guess what? They come back harder than before. You just can't win with these guys. Normally, in the Yakuza series, you play an unstoppable badass heroes, Mr. Shakedown is out stalking around the city and always gotta watch out for him. He's maybe the most mundane dude on this list. He's literally just a street punk who wants to take some money. But that's also what makes him a huge prick. He's not just dangerous enemy. Some we've actually already mentioned called 10 years possible social media 4. On that one, we talked about RDRC, Fantasy Master, Final Fantasy 9, EMC 5, Wolfenstein 2, Hyper Light Drifter, Rider Tricky, Iron Red, Elvis Code Online, and Cryptic Macro Dancer. Well, that shows the hungry becomes impossibly hard choices to get on PlayStation systems, and in fact, pretty much all the games we're talking about on here are just as hard as those games. Difficulty is a subjective thing, but I don't think anyone would dispute it. Within the platform of these games, requires a level of skill and dedication players will never see. I hope 2010 of the hardest class. Started on number 10 is Crash Bandicoot 4. Of the recent listings to the game, Crash Bandicoot 4 is very standard. It looks like a 15 platform, but don't let it tell you art style perspective. It is still not like that. It is normally straight up probably the hardest thing the point you to earn all of the classes style about it, and one thing that get all the answers for the knowledge of the game. The non-trials are more to by yourself. In order to get away with the goal, that's not you. You have to get class on every stage, and many of these require you to the time to get the class on. And it requires you to play from every level without dying once or breaking all credits. This is a game with sometimes very long stages with bosses and that are easily fixable, but there's one where that automatic bonus is that they have to try to get higher level over again. And that's on top finishing the game on standard difficulty is pretty difficult. But if you want to platinum it, then you really have to go above it. This one is one of those platinums that forces players to play the game multiple times. According to the guy on the defense profile, typically you're going to have to do it at least 7 times if you want to get a platinum, which is kind of a factor. The achievements of each game on the map and make it difficult is pretty wild all by itself. So this is just typical basic grab. So like half the energy is getting that one like gravity, so good luck with that. The absolute worst thing about getting a platinum in this game is 35 in total, and while some can be finished with an 8-out partner, certain ones are completely impossible without a friend. I have a friend that has a similar skill level to yours. They do want to chance of finishing themselves. No matter how good you are at the game, unless you find someone else who's almost completely great and you fix them all together, there's really no way to get yourself. It's back on the league and 20 or 30 is the one. And number 8 is managed to like Wolfenstein. Now there's one single channel that some most players get their time. Actually, getting the platinum in this game is impossible. Now the Rockstar shut down the servers, but there is this one time where you get a constant platinum. Oh, it was. And like game on hard, some multiplayer times, but the real challenge is at the New York Minute, where you have to complete the game in a New York Minute hardcore difficulty. The standard New York Minute is a very tough amount of code. Starting from the one clock, and you have to kill enemies to add time to the time. If you die once, you restart the whole thing again. And none of the things that the previous are about, so you want to stop starting, and let's go to the cutscenes that are there. Hardcore only makes one thing, but it's very good. You have to be happy some trial mode without dying once. If you die, you restart the entire thing you start. If you don't have to complete them, the only way you get through this is by memorizing how many places or pick up locations. Because I literally went back and hours of lost progress. Basically, if you wanted to platinum back then, and you had to be a speedrunner, whether you liked it or not. Moving on to number 7. Wipeout Omega Collection, one of the all-time toughest platinums to get in a PlayStation 2 that comes from this game. Racing games often ask a lot of players, like, you are fast, disoriented, and Wipeout moves while also moving home. So you're really good at searching on the players to get good at this. If you don't have split-second reactions on it, almost very well, there's no way you're getting someone. Yes, of course, on style, especially if you're passed by a cool metal one. Because the time requirement as a certain player, you'll take hours and hours, especially a simple class, and the smallest effect take there's no Iron Man yet. This is an incredibly long physical time that will be totally possible for players. But it's a long time player too. The worst of them are these development times set by a diving. So you better know the game inside and out, otherwise magic they're almost fanatic and you'll do it's impossible for them to play it. There's a minor thing that it's one of those trophies that requires a level of skill in the game that will never actually develop. And number 6 is Alien Fire Team. A relatively new game that just doesn't mess around with difficulty. Alien Fire Team trophies to see the game on extreme, and then the same difficulties are exactly what they are rated. Extreme and insane. To even have it on insane difficulty, you need a minimum of 4 maxed out players. They gotta be experts at the game, and they gotta work together in perfect harmony. Basically, you need an actual real fire team if you want to get the trophy. That's how hardcore it is. So unlike if you died, you think that requires 2 players to be experts at the game. This one's 4 experts. I think at least a little more friends and people find it easier to get online and find other people to play with, but still, trial and error, let's do this. Because when I call this difficulty mistakes, they are not built in. And number 5 is Slasher, an indie game that even I've never heard of. This is a game a lot of people on PSN profiles play. It's part of the platinum, so that it's more easy difficulty than before. It's got pretty much every annoying challenge you have to do for it. Even like this last time. Yes, that's the level without the diarrhea effect, speed runs, and you got these all straight up right up the fire. 100 exotic technical runs, titles seriously, which requires the players to at that rank with every single stage of the journey mode. High-level defensive play is usually something else, and this game expects absolute mastery if you want to deal with the possibility of getting an SS rank upstage. There's a reason the trophy is called seriously, after all. Just to give you an example of how hard this is, a player taking a trophy in Alex managed to get this platinum by playing the game for about 320 hours. There's not about times where nobody felt like they just couldn't play any better, and they literally had to train their brains to get faster and better, which is a lot fast. Just to get a platinum trophy in a video game, that's just the fact it's one of those games you can get into, but once you get the platinum trophy, there's no feeling on your book as brick wall. At number 3, Star Ocean, The Last Hope. For whatever reason, it's an RPG, decided to open Disney and the Star Ocean games are better than kids. They like a ton of years old and also that. Like, very standard together. There's a lot. And it's one of the things is pretty much impossible on one playthrough. But of course, that's what games want to do. Weapon data, bring every possible item, get all the awesome characters, and oh yeah, open every single chest in the game. All this stuff is also like up there the fun fantasy execution with a small things. So what these things do is something so you pretty much have to follow guys back. Otherwise you could spend another 100 hours playing the game again. Make sure you actually get everything. And on top of that, they expect to see the game. You go to the a minimum of 3 times different difficulty levels, which is by itself a ridiculous time. That's what makes it so hard. None of the achievements are actually all that hard to finish, but it's also just a big waste of time with very few people will ever take class. Play taking a trophy size of Star Ocean, The Last Hope, under class at a ridiculous 150,000 plus hours if you want to finish it, and then that number is and number 2 is Street Fighter 5. Now, there are games that purely still focus on fighting games. So it only makes sense to me to that, but what's the heart of the all time? For whatever reason, Street Fighter 5. It's really possible, but there's really possible to cast the best players in the world. There's these best fight someone strong trophies, which has a simple and multiple matches, and the back power rich survival mode on the difficulty. Now, the first point, let's play number 2 on it's simple sounding, like it's not like the thing is hard unless you're a Street Fighter god. This is a long list of series with a lot of very interesting players. I think it's one of the games that you know that you're going to be able to practice. Golden League is the highest level of Street Fighter 5 play, and getting there is pretty much the end of the top 2 players. While it doesn't necessarily have good enough to God will make the players. The other trophy, back in hell, seems like it wouldn't be that hard to win, but it actually might be worse. To finish survival mode, you have to do the 100 fights back to back. On hell ability that each fight is almost going to be 3 minutes, let's say, to make that worse, you have to do an online ability server every time out of go down. On your progress, and start over. So on top of being really in the game, once you go to the offense, but this is not a good combo. And finally, number 1 is Rage 365. One of the very few games ever getting an unattended on the PSN profile and PlayStation. So the transfer profile of PS3 is considered by the community the hardest game ever. The one simple reason is the time trial to do the text all the time.
showed him what happened.
Discover the all-new Hyundai Tucson.
There's a team that's hunting and that there is safety. I posted Falcon is down and trophy on starting off at number 10, there is one player that has gotten every single trophy in the Final Fantasy series. A user by the name of Redborn 07, wielding a talent perk, started doing this in Final Fantasy 13 on the PlayStation 3. And on August 8, 2021, unlocked the last trophy introduced in the Final Fantasy 7 Remake Integrated DLC, which makes him the only Final Fantasy gamer anywhere on Earth to have every single PSN trophy from every single Final Fantasy game that has PSN trophy. And he's been doing it for a couple of years too. 2 years ago, he actually posted about having every single trophy in every single Final Fantasy game. But there was also somebody else at the time who also had it. Being life is not at a standstill at the time, Final Fantasy games were released all the time. Redborn kept going, and obviously Skull Robot has not caught up. Redborn 07 is the only person currently to have done this with all of them. At number 9, a guy did this play a game with the developer achievement, which was actually pretty hard to achieve. The game he was playing was one called Frozen Synapse, and at the time he got this achievement, it was kind of an old game. Not a lot of people were playing it, and the player by the name of Zion couldn't figure out a way to get it in with the developer in order to actually play the game against them. To quote Zion, for whatever reason, I wanted this one, so I thought out of the box and I composed a poem for the developer. I emailed it to their company, and they replied. They wrote me back, and they're like, check your game. And the developer had invited him to a match. So then I went into the match, kind of like, oh, awesome, I have a chance. And the developer actually fought back against me. So I was like, oh, man, you're not just going to give it to me. I had to play the game of my life. And, like, apparently there's almost nobody who has actually gotten this achievement amongst the player base. So it's pretty wild, especially to have done it in the way that he did. At number 8, this one guy did 7-Day Survivor and Dead Rising twice. Now, 7-Day Survivor is not easy. You have to be playing the game in Infinity mode, and you have to survive for at least 7 days. Now, there's a reason why people care about this. It's one of the most difficult, requires so much time, 14 specific hours of real-time gameplay, and you can't stop. You can't save it, you can't do anything. You have to play it on Infinity mode, which means if you die, that's when you set it. To get the achievement, you can't die. Get it? So it is beyond time. Reddit user Dead93 has gotten it twice. He doesn't even claim that it's that difficult, just more tedious. Now I'm going to go ahead and say, I've played this game on Infinity mode. I heard it's difficult, sir. You just played this game. A lot of the important stuff he's playing is actually just planning around the real weather that's actually going on in the real world. Because one of his attempts, 11 hours in, there was a power outage. Wow, that's just... At number 7, getting every trophy in every Soulsborne game. A gentleman by the name of Stab X made a post that he finally beat Dark Souls. Now, there has been a ton of posts like this when somebody beats Dark Souls for the first time. I mean, it's an accomplishment. It's not an easy game. There's a lot to it, and frankly, it requires a lot of patience. Just almost exactly a year later, this gentleman has gotten the Platinum Trophy on Dark Souls Remastered, and has also done it in all of the other games. So that doesn't just mean Dark Souls, that means Demon Souls, that means Bloodborne, that means Sekiro, and frankly, although he's probably not the only person that's ever done this or anything, that's badass. I don't care how many people have done this. StabX Ledge, you're a badass. I have not done this, and like, video games are a big thing for me, clearly. Dark Souls particularly. These are a fantastic style of game from, obviously, the perspective that's formula. The amount of patience this person has, and anybody else who's ever done this, it's got to be ridiculous. Because although these games are really fun, they can also be very tedious if you're playing them with the goal in mind. At number 6, one guy actually earned 15 PSN Platinum trophies in 20 hours. A user by the name of PS4 Trophies did a live stream in which he planned out a route to his 50 Platinum trophies. Now, as was mentioned in the Dark Souls point, in the Platinum trophy, of course, you got all the other trophies. Okay, in order to do this, he had to plan a very specific run, which he actually established some rules from just being superseded. All of the games had PS4 titles, and he added that if there were different trophies in different regional versions of the game, he could do those games multiple times. So a lot of the games that he played are ones that I have never heard of, like Bouncy Bullets. He certainly wasn't playing Bouncy Bullets on the PS4 when that came out. But nonetheless, I think that despite the fact that he picked games that would literally be possible to be in a period of time, not really knowing what the hell these games even are, kind of creates unique challenges that you need to learn a whole bunch of things about, like Bird Game Plus. I've never heard of Bird Game Plus. So it's a wacky challenge that on top of being unique in the number of trophies it got in a short period of time, it's unique in that, what are these games? Gravity Dump? Have you ever played Gravity Dump or Iron Sound? I have not. And sorry, gang, fans of those things, I'm not being selfish. Might be cool games. I've never heard of them. At number 5, a guy got one of the most difficult achievements in Brick Breaker, which is a sort of modern, cool-looking, cyberpunky spin on Atari Breakout, which is a really old game that's fairly simplistic. What you have to do to get this achievement is play the game on survival mode, which is the same as the game's regular arcade mode. The game has 100 levels either way, but in survival, you only get 5 lives. When this gentleman set out to beat all 100 levels on those 5 lives, there were only 7 people who had even reached level 10. Now, this gentleman was able to do this by playing the game with a turbo controller that could pause the game and effectively slow it down to half speed. This is effectively cheating. However, no one has been able to legitimately do this, period. At number 4, getting the Lazo Master achievement in Halo the Master Collection. So, in order to get this, you have to play Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo 4 in the Lazo playlist. Now, Lazo stands for Legendary All Stalls On. So, it's the highest difficulty with all difficulty modders on. 2 years ago, somebody did it. Right user Spongy did it in a pretty good time. Moving your business forward takes every piece of it working together. From the customer to your collaboration, it all needs to move in step. Tools, department, staff, and customers all working together.
More than 20 million people use Grammarly every day to improve their writing. You can use these.
At number 3, some accountants earned 132,000 gamer scores in a single month. Like, to be frank, it sounds ridiculous. If you look at the gamer score leaderboard, you see, like, one person ranked up with 132,000 gamer scores in a month. It just doesn't seem too possible. You have to get so many in a day. It's ridiculous. But a 29-year-old gamer by the name of Sarah decided that quarantine was going to get us out there back forever. They shut off all the lights in the house, close the blinds, open up the DoorDash app, and just wait for it. Holy crap. Holy crap. Apparently, Sarah, the person who did this, is a big-time achievement hunter, who to guess, and had been doing these types of things since years and years ago. Came out way long time ago. But to do this in a single month is friggin' incredible. Well done, Sarah. Nice. And number 2, getting the Crypt of the Necrodancer Platinum Trophy. This is so many trophies. If you recall me saying, you get the Platinum Trophy, you have to get all of the trophies in the game, and there are 42 trophies in Crypt of the Necrodancer, and they are not easy ones. I mean, some of them are, but not all. Like, collecting 6,000 points in a single run also sounds easy, but it's not. You also have to do things like complete all done modes with solo change in 150 minutes. There's a lot going on here, and not a lot of people get this trophy, and it took somebody a year and a half to get and keep it. It's insane. I mean, the game itself is insane. It's a turn-based, roguelike, rip-up dungeon crawler. Watch this person play it. It's wild. And finally, at number one, we just have to talk about this, like, basically the ultimate trophy hunter. This guy named Tom Kareem, known by his username Laku, back in 2017, blew everybody away by showing off his 1200 platinum trophy, getting the platinum in skill as his 1200. And keep in mind, this is back in 2017. This guy earned platinum trophies at a rate of something like 300 years. He's probably way past that at this point. I mean, the dedication and sheer skill that this person possesses is nuts. And who just deserves a huge hat at the top of this list? Hell yeah, man. Keep it up. That's all for today, though. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, like, if you're not subscribed, have a great time.
Sometimes the hardest achievements and trophies are the ones that feel like the great unknown. So today we're talking about 10 of the hardest trophies that have zero guides for it. Now, just a disclaimer, but pretty much everything has some kind of guide written for it online. So in this video, we're talking with stuff where you can't make a whole guide on it, or where the challenge is so great that a guide won't help you anyway, or even when a guide is totally wrong. We'll throw in a few games that are so obscure and hard that nobody can bother to write a guide for, but we also don't want everyone that's listening to games that nobody played and nobody cared about. So keep that in mind. We got a good mix here, so let's get started off with number 10 and talk about Rambo, the video game weapon specialist. This seems like a simple achievement, just use every weapon available in the game. The problem is that either the requirements for unlocking this trophy are super arcane and weird, or the game's completely bugged and doesn't actually award you the trophy, even though you should be getting it. But just to show how deep this rabbit hole goes with trophies and achievements, this one trophy, that's not even for the main game, but for the free DLC the developers added later, has seen extensive discussion on and how to get it on sites like psnprofiles.com. Now, this is Rambo, the video game we're talking about here, one of the most universally filed and dumped on games from 2014. And people put this much effort into getting trophies in this game, they'll probably do it for literally anything. Shout out to them. If you see anyone with this trophy, they most likely just needed to get a forum poster and found someone who they think might be legitimate, but if they know how to actually get this thing, they're not telling anyone. Now, next to number 9, let's talk about Tumble Eighth Amount. This one is really obscure, probably best known for some articles popping up about the game's poor sales and the fact that the developers probably won't repeat their loss in making it. The actual achievement is, well, it's a mystery though. There's one secret achievement in the game, and as far as we can tell, requires you to complete all the missions in one run, this being a roguelike. But regarding actual guides, we couldn't find anything. Maybe there's just general discussion somewhere, but guidelines, we couldn't find anything. We were able to find a guide for a game called Obi, which you've never heard of, but this one has nothing. As far as games go, Tumble isn't that bad. It's kind of a fun short burst. But obviously, this trophy isn't really hard to get. You basically do everything in one run, seemingly. But it is incredibly obscure. Now over at number 8, Fight Night Round 4. Get the Online World Championship. Now this one's unguidable for 2 reasons. Number 1, you literally have to go online and beat the players who have the championship belt in a match to beat the belt for yourself.